recording of members present and absent.
Kane.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Parker.
Yes.
Tingleton.
Here.
Hanson's absent.
Open meeting compliance statement read.
I, the undersigned clerk of the Board of Education of the Alva Independent School District, number 1 of Woods County, Oklahoma, certify that prior to December 15th of the last calendar year, the date, time, and place of this regular meeting was posted in the office of the County Clerk of Woods County, Oklahoma. I also certify that at least 24 hours prior to this meeting, excluding Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, notice of the date, time, place, and agenda of this meeting was posted in prominent public view in the office of the superintendent.
Thank you, Terry. Item number 3, consent agenda. All of the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature, normally approved by one board vote, unless a board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following. Addition of new items of new business to the agenda.
There are none.
Minutes of the May 1st, 2023 regular meeting. Approval of the finance report. Approval of the extra duty assignment schedule. Approval of the activity fund report. Approval of the activity fund fundraisers. Approval of the activity fund inter-account transfers. Approval of the child nutrition report. And declare the following items as surplus.
Okay, if we'll go back up to agenda item 3.2, we have the minutes to the May 1st regular meeting. I did not see any errors with those. If you look at agenda item 3.3, we have 2 attachments there. The top attachment are our investments through the Woods County Treasurer, and so all those are current and up to date. If you'll open the second attachment is our monthly look at our chargeables, so you can see the collections there. Again, we are up in all areas but our motor vehicle tax, which you can see if you went back and looked month to month, that gap is closed in our collections, so motor vehicle tax collections have increased. If you go down and look at the second page of that attachment, I've provided you a year-to-year graph that shows you our expenses, and then on the final page is a comparison of charts. In that comparison of charts, we've had a revenue increase this year of $804,609. We've spent $428,000 more. I also want to, I'll attach this later. I didn't get this attached in time. I want you to have an opportunity to look at our finances. So if you look up here at the overhead, this is an attachment overhead. The board, it used to be an overhead back in the day. These are our revenue collections year to date, where we're at as we begin the month of June. I just want to draw your attention here to this column I. You can see that we are at 99% collections, almost 100%. Our ad valorem, our interest earnings, so the interest that we collected in our carryover monies has increased significantly this year, and that's part of, that's economics. If you go down and you look at our county 4 mill and our mortgage taxes, you can see that in our county 4 mill we are in good shape. We have not collected what we have in mortgage tax. Probably the 4 most important things are these, and that was on that earlier chart that I showed you. You can see we're doing really good in our collections with 1 month still to spare. And so anticipate we're going to get pretty close to collecting what we need to collect on our motor vehicle, which will put us in all 4 of these areas over collecting, which is really strong for the economy that we're in right now. We're going to get another month collection of foundation salary incentive aid, so we're going to get close to 100% there. And then we are going to get our flexible benefit allowance, which the state provides us to help pay for insurance costs, so we're going to get close to 100% there. So projecting, looking good, like we're anticipating a healthy carryover, about 4.4 to 4.5, maybe more than that, maybe closer to 4.9. Again, all of that's going to depend on expenses and so forth in the next month. So feel really good about where we're headed into the next year financially. Appreciate the work of our principals and teachers. It's been kind of a difficult year financially to get a hold of inflationary costs and just the economic drivers, and everyone's done a good job to position ourselves to be in good shape heading into the fiscal year. Agenda item 3.4, if you'll open that up, you will see highlighted throughout this document summer or June pay, and so I'll go through these with you. Just a little bit bigger. We have Mackenzie Adams, high school assistant softball coach. Mackenzie will be helping as a lay coach in the fall, but this is for the June 22nd payment of our summer stipend. We have Scott Ball, Dalton Beeler, Cannon Collins, you see her highlighted for her June summer pay. Morgan Cook. Morgan is going to be a lay coach and help with baseball in the summer. We have Darren Farrell. Darian is a new hire to help with our middle school softball, and she'll be helping as a lay coach and also helping in the summer. We have Coach Foster's summer pay in June. Ty Hooper. Ty is going to be helping with the football camps in the upcoming weeks, and so that is his June payment. Coach Johnson with our football and basketball camps. Coach Trey Johnson, our new hire we're bringing you tonight, will be helping with our middle school basketball, and that's his June summer pay. We have Gretchen Jones, our middle school girls basketball coach. That is her summer pay for June. Our new hire we bring to the board tonight, Jeremy Jones. That is his summer pay for June. Coach Kimberlin, our head high school basketball coach. That is his June stipend. Savannah King is a lay coach. Savannah is going to be helping with high school assistant softball, and that is her summer pay. We have Megan Kirkley with middle school cheerleading. Megan was the high school assistant last year and will now be the head coach for the middle school this year. Marcus Mead, returning assistant coach for football. Megan Spray, our high school assistant, will be helping again this year, and that is her summer pay. We have Megan Stratton, head softball coach, her summer pay for June. Chesney Thomas. Chesney will be our head high school cheerleading coach with the resignation of Jordan Alva, and so this is Chesney's summer pay with cheerleading. Zeph Warren. Zeph will be a lay coach this summer and will be helping with our high school baseball. And then finally, Ryan Wilson, returning coach, will be helping with weightlifting and summer football. That is his June pay. Okay.
Do they pay again in July? Or
Yes.
Same amounts?
Yes. So you'll see on the June, some of those would be new this year. We'll bring it back in July, and that'll have the other half of it.
They start on their regular pay in August.
Correct. September is going to be their first pay.
So this is literally half of what's on Pride and some camps. And,
Yes.
so then we approve those again in July?
Yes. And we'll bring them back. So if you've noticed, we've moved this consent agenda because many times we have changes in our extra duty assignments. And so we're always going to have this as part of the consent agenda, just because it can be fluid. You might have changes from one month to the next.
Yeah. Good thing. It's been a great increase in great programs too.
Okay, our activity fund report, you have our year-to-date activity fund accounts on the top attachment, agenda item 3.5. Very little change in our activity accounts. Ms. Hall is working towards closing accounts, getting fundraisers together, and making some of those changes as we get towards the end of the year. Agenda item 3.6, I mentioned fundraisers. We will bring to you fundraisers at our next board meeting in June for your approval to go into the next fiscal year. Bring a spreadsheet that has the number of fundraisers that we've done about the past 5 years and how many of those have been completed for your review and approval. Agenda item 3.7, there are no inter-account transfers. Agenda item 3.8, I've attached the child nutrition report, or my spreadsheet that I've made. So what I did is, I mentioned to you at the last month's board meeting, working with Keystone to come up with some more homemade meals. And so when you look at our made numbers there, I've added those for 22, 23. You can see that they're less than April, but we only had a 3-week period. So you have to go back up and find another 3-week period to have any kind of comparison. And so you can do that in your December month. And so we're pretty similar, if not above, on those numbers. So we'll continue to work with Keystone on that, just to make sure we are getting the quality food that not only for our students, but also staff. So we saw some improvement there. So I appreciate their work on that. 3.9, there are no items of surplus. Any questions regarding the consent agenda? If there are none, I would recommend its approval.
Motion.
I make a motion that we approve 3.1 through 3.9 as presented.
Second.
McDermott,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Item number 4, vote to approve purchase order encumbrances for the following funds for fiscal year 23. 4.1, the general fund as referenced. 4.2, the building fund as referenced. 4.3, child nutrition fund as referenced. And 4.4, the gift fund as referenced.
Okay. Agenda item 4.1, there's 2 attachments there. The top attachment are the general fund expenditures for the month of May. I'll run through a few of those. If you have any questions, let me know. Start with purchase order number 460, Evans Ceramic, $1,886. It's art supplies for Mr. McClure's art program. Purchase order number 464. $15,000 with our farm plan, that's district fuel, to get us through the remainder of the school or fiscal year. Purchase order number 466, $9,614 with Benchmark Education Company. Those are additional textbooks and curriculum for our new early childhood teachers that we'll be adding at Washington. Purchase order number 468 for $21,000 with Tri-Band Roofing. That is a part of our roofing insurance claim process. We are at a point now where an independent adjuster is going to come up and conduct a moisture inspection in the next week or two to hopefully add some additional coverage to what we lost on our roof replacements. And so that is a part of that process. Purchase order number 473, $3,492. That is the amount encumbered for the School Board Association conference in August. Purchase order number 479, $8,064.31 with Mission Oilfield Supply. Ag gets career tech monies that they are required to spend, and so they have used their career tech money to purchase some tools for their program. Purchase order number 480, $1,086 with Strawbridge. Those are graduation pictures that we purchase for all of our promotion and graduate students. And then finally, purchase order number 47, $2,500, DT spraying and lawn care. That's mowing and field maintenance at the high school football field. The second attachment is your general fund purchase orders. Those will be encumbrances for some of our summer stipends that we are paying personnel. Okay, agenda item 4.2, our building fund. Purchase order number 91, $2,500 with Treat Solution. That's district maintenance and custodial supplies. Purchase order number 92, an increase in open purchase orders, $12,000 with ONG to get us through the remainder of the year. And then purchase order number 94, $2,837.84 with Jenkins and Price, more maintenance and custodial supplies for the summer. Agenda item 4.3, our child nutrition, we have one purchase order out of that fund this month with Rose Plumbing for sink repairs at Longfellow. Agenda item 4.4. 4.4 are some expenditures from our gift fund. All four of those expenditures relate to the Alva State Bank donation that was given for purchase of items in our fine arts. And so purchase order number 13, they purchased sheets of music, folders, sight reading for $1,820. Purchase order number 15, $3,145 through Amazon. New PA system with stand and amplifier, speaker cables. Purchase order number 16, $9,099. They purchased a new piano for the choir room. And then purchase order number 17, $6,523. They purchased an art pug mill. And an art pug mill is when you are working with clay, I knew, I've studied, when you're working with clay, any of your excess clay, you're able to recycle it and reuse it. I'm pretty sure that's what he told me. So, any questions on agenda item 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, or 4.4?
Make a motion that we approve these items, 4.1 to 4.3. 4.
Second?
Pingleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Okay. Item number 5, superintendent's report.
Okay, we'll start with resignations, retirements, and reassignments. We have 5 resignations that you'll see of those attachments, so I'll give you a few minutes to open up each one of those. The first is Rachel Cunningham. Rachel has resigned her position as 5th grade Lincoln Elementary teacher. They will be relocating. Rachel did a fantastic job for us, and we will certainly miss her. The next resignation is from Chris Gore. Coach Gore has resigned her girls head coach basketball duties, assistant AD duties, and English position. And so we appreciate Coach Gore and the work she did with our young ladies and all of our students. The third attachment you'll see there is Mrs. Heather Hall. Heather has resigned her concession stand coordinator duties. Heather did a great job. She has transitioned down to central office as our activity coordinator and is really doing a good job. And so I'm excited for her to be a part of our team in the office. The next attachment is Miss J.C. Heaton. J.C. is resigning her position as counselor and district test coordinator. And so leaves a really big void for us, and we are certainly going to miss her. She's going to still be involved in some social media posting and marketing and helping with our athletic program, so definitely thankful for that. And then finally, Tim Thomas has resigned his position as district head custodian and high school custodian, and so appreciate the work that Tim did here at the high school and district-wide. The reassignments that we have, Heather Hall, I mentioned her resignation with concession stand coordinator. Heather is the activity custodian. She has previously been our Longfellow library aide. She's doing a really good job at central office, and so great to be able to promote within and have her come down and help us. Next, we have Hattie Potter. Hattie has been a speech language pathologist for us for many years. Hattie will be our new special ed director next year, and so very excited for her. Katie Williams. Katie Williams is a paraprofessional at Longfellow with Heather Hall's move to the central office. Katie will move from paraprofessional to Longfellow library aide. So excited for Katie. And then finally, Patricia Glue. Patricia has been a longtime custodian at Alva Middle School and for our district. Does an outstanding job. Patricia is going to be our new district head custodian. She's already stepped in and done a really good job, and very thankful for her and the work that she is doing. My communication this month, want to first of all give you kind of an update on capital projects. So the first 3 pages of this will be dated 6/5/23. Just kind of gives you an update of where we are at with our capital projects in the district. So if you look there, you can see that the lift has been completed in the auditorium. Appreciate Mr. Holt, Mr. Thomas. We had that functioning and workable for graduation. And so that was a really helpful addition. The HVAC in the gymnasiums, we are talking, fingers crossed, that we're going to be finished July 1 with the HVAC in the gymnasiums. Everything's moving very quickly. So we hope that will happen. High school cafeteria, that project is moving along quickly. They have completed demo and are going to be working on some of the finishing parts of it. They anticipate that will be completed the 1st of July also. I mentioned the roof repair. We are continuing with that project. And so you can look on the back there. We've got activity bus. We are still working with the activity bus company on potential lease purchase, what some interest rates would be. So checking on some financing there. We'll mention that we have ordered the 14-passenger bus. It actually is going to probably be here by July 1 now, and so that will be a good addition for the district. Also, would mention that, as you know, the education budget has been completed. We anticipate about a 40% increase in state funding. So looking at anywhere to 1.5 to 1.6 million that we'll receive in state aid, which will be a really good increase. The only caution that we have at this point is the teacher pay raise has only been funded for the first year. And so we've got to be really mindful of that moving forward in the hopes that they continue to fund that pay raise.
But all of the extra costs has been funded, correct? Like their
So
insurance and
the first year it's funded.
it's all funded.
Cost and salary is funded the first year. Yes.
Which is a big deal. Sometimes we give the raises and not pay for the insurance and all the other things. That's a big.
Strategic plan, we are still working on some documents to prepare for you. There was some issues on the scorecards that we used and some confusion, and so I'm still working with K-20. Hopefully either at the end of June board meeting or the 1st July when we can give you a presentation that shows you some of those new scorecards, but then also when we surveyed our community, how some of the things have changed in the last 4 years as to what is important and maybe not what's quite as important as it was. And so we'll bring that to you next month. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Item number 6, items of current business. 6.1, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve an offer of employment to applicant number 1 as the adjunct instructor for physical education for the 23-24 school year.
I'd like to introduce Trey Johnson to you. Trey grew up in Arizona, played at Glendale Community College, then transferred to Northwestern where he finished his career. Spent a couple of years as admissions counselor and recruiter at Northwestern. And then he's been the head basketball coach, boys coach over at Oklahoma Bible Academy the last couple of years. So what we'd like to do is recommend Trey for hire for 3-sport coach, and actually 4 kind. And one of the plans we're trying to do is get our head middle school coaches more intertwined with our high school program, giving them an additional stipend to be able to help on varsity game nights, but when their middle school season's done, they would be a second assistant. At times we're a little shorthanded with our current setup, and as well as the elementary physical education position.
Wonderful. Have a motion?
Yes. I would love to make the motion that we hire Trey Johnson as the adjunct instructor for physical education for 23-24 school year.
Second the motion.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Welcome,
Good to have you.
welcome home. It's nice to say welcome home. And we really do mean it.
You'll do a couple here, 3, and then you can stay if you want, because we know our board meetings
It's
are
pretty exciting.
But you may leave if you would like. 6.2, discussion with possible board action. Vote to approve an offer of employment to applicant number 2 as an adjunct instructor, I can't talk, for alternative education and credit recovery, and AHS head girls basketball coach for the 23-24 school year.
I'd like to recommend Jeremy Jones. Jeremy's previous duties, he was previously, after playing college ball, he was a head assistant here for men's basketball at Northwestern from 2011 through 16, head girls basketball coach from the Lad, where he grew up. He went back and he had three of his teams. They went to the state tournament. He had a runner-up and third place finish there in Idaho, and then he took a job at Layton Christian Academy in Utah. He was there 3 seasons as well. 2 of them went to state, including a Final Four appearance. He was the state coach of the year in 2020. 2022 to present, he's been the assistant AD, NCAA compliance over at Northwestern. His wife Gretchen has been our head middle school coach. We're just trying to really get the whole family involved. Their daughter will be playing women's basketball over there at Northwestern as well. So Jeremy's teaching duties would be at the middle school, alternative ed, credit recovery, helping catch kids up. Would be his day duties, head girls basketball at the high school, and hopefully a spring sport coaching position as well that we're looking at possible openings there.
Want to take a motion?
Make a motion we hire applicant number 2.
Second?
Second.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Congratulations. Thank you, thank you.
Welcome.
You guys are good, you guys.
I'm glad you guys are home. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Maybe my best accomplishment was I did recruit Craig.
Well, you're good. That's all right.
Is that right?
Yeah, you drove to
32
Phoenix.
hour drive to Phoenix with Brad Franz and
Oh, that in itself is a trip.
And knowing Brad, he went straight to Phoenix and drove straight back. We didn't know
If they hadn't made the trip, they probably would have got
That's great.
Brad slept all the way I drove home. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you.
Right,
Okay.
right. What's your little girl's name?
Journey,
Journey, and what's your
Journey.
wife's name?
Nicole.
Nicole and Journey.
I don't know.
That's all right.
They're probably running down the hall.
That's okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for
All
coming.
right, we'll do.
Okay. Item number 6.3, discussion with possible board action, offer of employment to Madison Williams on a prorated principal's contract for the remainder of fiscal year 23.
We bring this agenda item to you. Madison wants to get in there and work a couple of days and begin getting ready for the next school year. We've traditionally done this for our administrators to be able to come in. It's hard to get ready just in the month of July for the school, and so this will give her a couple of days a week to get into the building and get acclimated to Washington Elementary. So I would recommend that we approve this prorated principal's contract for Madison.
I make a motion that we offer to give Madison Williams a prorated contract for the remainder of 2023.
Second.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Item 6.4, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the updated job assignments and duties for the remainder of 23.
So if you'll open the attachment 6.4, with Heather Hall now is our activity coordinator. We've added this attachment to allow her to be able to sign and also take care of those responsibilities for the remainder of this FY23 school year. We'll bring this document back to you in June with revisions and our new principal hires for the FY24 school year. So I would recommend approval of these updated job assignments.
Is she the only change on there?
Correct, yes.
Entertain a motion?
I would move that we vote to approve the updated job assignments and duties for FY23.
Second.
McDermott,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Singleton,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Item number 6.5, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the temporary appropriations for fiscal year '24.
So if you'll open the top attachment, you can see the appropriations that we have been allowed through Carroll's and Associates. They come up with this. This is the allowable amount of money that we are able to spend, approved by the excise board. What I want to kind of show you, we'll get an estimate of needs then September, October. So if you'll open that second attachment, I kind of broke down for you what that's looked like in the past, just to give you an idea. So if you look at our general fund, you can see the trend normally is that we will see an increase in our estimate of needs as we begin our new fiscal year. Part of that is your carryover that you take with you into your next school year. And so you look down at each one of those funds and you're able to see that normally we have an increase once we move into the new fiscal year. So sometimes you see that lower number. It's not really, we want to be mindful of it, but that's also anticipating that there will be an increase with our carryover. Any questions about the temporary appropriations? If there are none, I would recommend their approval.
So moved.
Second.
McDermott,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Singleton,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Item number 6.6, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the revised approved expenditures for Alva High School Golf Activity Fund account number 813 for fiscal year '23.
If you'll open this approved expenditure account attachment, normally we bring these to you at the beginning of each fiscal year. We bring this back again as part of the Quinn Trust golf budget. If you look at item number 41 and then item number 52, myself, Ms. McDermott, Mr. Hanson, Elizabeth Ritchie with the foundation, Dusty Horn with our Alva Golf and Country Club, and Van Johnson, Kai Flater, representative of the foundation, and Brenda Rose, a representative of the foundation. We met a few weeks ago to look at a contract with the Alva Golf and Country Club that would help make capital improvement but also be useful for our students. And so I appreciate everybody's input into that meeting, but the result of that is an adjustment to our approved expenditures, and then later on in on this agenda we will see a contract that was developed with that group.
We were able to do a couple of things there that I think is, the golf facility used to be, that matched what Northwestern does, is that not? That is correct. So we were able to mirror that as well, so, that was a good thing. And then the hitting bays is things that, they've been visiting about, and it was, really good meeting. And they're really excited about having us on the course and all of them. Elizabeth and Mr. Argo. This is a tremendous amount of work. I just can't tell you how much they have worked on it, going back and forth with the trustees. I'm sorry, kind of.
No, it's
But I
good.
think they need to know, I mean, I just think
Sure,
it's just a big deal.
it is.
And it's a big deal because it's new to us. And it's still a big deal because it's a big deal. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate it all. And, you know, it's just going back and forth, getting her to approve it. And the lady that was a part of their, a friend of the family of the Quinns is the trustee. And she's just been really great to work with, and partially because they've been so good to work with as well. So I'm
Very
very,
blessed.
very, very proud of them for all the work.
And I want the board to know, we're going to meet with Ms. McLaughlin anytime we make any kind of change to the budget with that trust. We always meet with Ms. McLaughlin to get approval. And so we meet with her attorney, anytime there's a change, but also on a yearly basis. We meet to adjust the budget, talk about some of those things that we purchased, and just, we want her to make sure that she approves of every expenditure that we're using.
So I think you just can't say enough about how great a job they're doing.
Well, I think it's important that we set a strong foundation on it, so in the event somebody else would like to bless our community and our kids with another gift in this
Groundbreaking.
manner, you better believe it is. We've set, and I think it's very important that you respect the family's due diligence and meet with the executor of their decisions. So I think that's very important. So thank you very much, Dr. Argo, and all of you that have done it.
Thank you. All righty.
We need to vote on that.
Yeah, we better. There.
I'd make a motion to approve expenditures for Alva High School golf activity, account number 813 for fiscal year '23.
Second.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Pingleton.
Yes.
Item number 6.7, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the activation of the Alva Independent School Activity Sub-Account number 911, which is the Goldbug Education Coalition, and approval of the list of, do I have something? Approval of the list of, sorry, I changed lines here, that wasn't on there. List of approved expenditures for fiscal year '23.
So I didn't get the list of expenditures attached to this, so shall we table this to next month?
Do you have it on your computer?
How much different is it, this approved expenditure list?
I have it handy. If you'd like to look at it on a piece of paper, not on the
I think
computer.
that'd be fine. I think you probably need to pay some bills.
You guys will pass that around. That's gonna be the approved
It's not,
list.
we added that use fee and.
No, this is a different, this
Oh,
is a different group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think how I did this.
Ms. McDermott has it. There's a
Just pass
copy of it there.
They're very similar to each fund, aren't they?
Yes.
Because about the
It's not
same,
school supplies for kids.
it's about the same bills that are paid.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin. No, that's, you shot it. I bounced
So-
it back, I rebounded.
So the reason for this adjustment, we used to have this account 911 was H2O. That was a group that no longer functions in our district. And so we would rename this sub-account Goldbug Education Coalition. So the Goldbug Education Coalition is the group that purchases the school supplies for all of our students. What this will allow them to do is when they have donors that give to the district, they're able to receive a tax exempt notice, and they were unable to do so prior. And so this will be a real win-win for our students and our community to continue to purchase those school supplies. They'll still follow the same accounting rules that any of our other activity groups do by having an activity account. So if you look at the second attachment there, working with Lexi Lauderdale and Dela Leon and Todd Holder, we've worked together on this a couple of years now, and they've been great to work with. And so this is an example donor letter that they would be sending out. And that, again, that money would go into that activity account.
Where, approximately how much money are they raising for that project? Is it about 15,000 or
So
so?
he said, in this letter, it says last year's supplies cost approximately 15,000. Our
Okay,
hope is
that's
to
what I
continue.
was.
I mean, that's what they spent last year, so. And they've been doing it for 2, 3 years?
I feel like
You guys know?
the year we came back from COVID,
Okay,
I don't know what that year
20,
was.
2020 was when I started.
20, then 21.
That was the year
That was
right
it.
after COVID, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first year.
So we're on 4 years. They've been doing this, but, okay, thank you.
And they've done a great job. I can't thank Ben,
Yeah.
Lexi, and
They saw-
Dayla have
they
done
saw
a
a need and
fantastic
stepped up.
job. Our community, that is a really great thing for our students and parents and teachers.
Yeah.
They come in, they get the school supplies set up, they have them there for kids on back to school. It's been a very good thing. So I would recommend that we approve the activation of this sub-account 911.
So that's 6.7, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion to approve 6.7.
So moved.
You
Second.
guys don't fight over it.
Second.
Singleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
6.8, discussion with possible board action, vote to accept a $250,000 donation to the Alva School District Gift Fund from Mr. and Mrs. William Buckles.
So again, I think this is another example of how extremely blessed we are in this community. Mr. and Mrs. Buckles reached out to me a couple of months ago, had a desire to give back in some way to the school district. You've noticed on our projects, we've talked about insurance improvements, and they had a real desire to see our entrances enhanced across our district. And so the focus really became at our elementaries, and the focus was narrowed even more to Washington Elementary. And so I have a couple of images here. I think you'll be able to kind of see what that would look like. It would be tuck pointing and cleaning bricks, and repairing seals around windows, obviously new signage, new rails, another vantage point of that, of what that would look like. So a really tremendous gift. Really thankful for that gift from them, and so I would recommend approval of this donation from the Bill and Billy Buckles Foundation.
When you say seal windows, any of them, heaven forbid, need to be replaced because the seals won't seal? I mean,
Well-
have old buildings and settling,
So I kind of learned a little bit about this. There's a restoration company that came up last week and kind of took me around and showed me kind of what tuck pointing is.
Okay.
And I'm not handy enough to really give you a detailed explanation of tuck pointing, but I will tell you it's going around and checking and looking at the mortar
Yes.
between all the bricks, but you also have that seal and that mortar in the windows.
Right.
And so there are areas and the caps of your building. And so we anticipate there may be some improvement we see in our roofs, especially at Washington, when you do that tuck pointing to improve the caps along the outside also. That answer your question?
Well, yeah, I just know it's an old building, and I know, I mean, when we did a lot of remodeling at the Methodist Church, once you get into something, you get into
Sure.
something. And
Yeah.
the ground settles, and earthquakes happen, and different things have moved different ways, and we didn't even know it had moved until somebody starts measuring and realizes you've got a gap. It's, so, anyway, thank you.
But thank you to the Buckles and
You
that
bet.
foundation.
Yes.
Very appreciative.
I would make a motion that we accept their donation with a lot of gratitude.
Second.
McDermott,
Yes.
Parker, Singleton,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Do they ever, do we ever do any publicity on anything like this? Is that something we wish to not have, or?
No, we will. We wrote an article. Actually, we did for the Quinn Trust, and we will for this also. There's a couple more details we want to fine tune. We're gonna meet with the Buckles and talk to us about some other parts of this project, but yes, we do.
Good. Item number 6.9. Discussion with possible board action, vote to approve an out-of-state travel request from Alva High School Band Director Adam Stewart to travel with the Alva State Marching Band to the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee, December the 26th through the 30th, 2023.
So Mr. Stewart has got this request in to be able to take the band this school year to the Liberty Bowl. You know, a few years back, they traveled to the Alva Bowl, had a great experience, and so I would recommend approval by the board for this out-of-state travel request.
Mr. Argo, do they raise the money for this trip?
Yes. Yes, they will pay all their own costs. This is any normal trip, like our Electric Gold or baseball team goes to Arizona, any of those out-of-state requests, they raise those money, pay for it through their activity account.
Great, thank you. Have a motion?
I make the motion that we approve an out-of-state travel request out of a high school band as presented.
Second.
Parker,
Yes.
Pingleton,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Item number 6.10, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve an out-of-state travel from Alva High School speech and debate sponsor Nick Brott to travel with students to Springfield, Missouri, and participate in the Missouri State Debate Institute on July 1 through 14, 2023.
Another great opportunity for the students in our program, speech and debate program, so I would recommend approval of this out-of-state travel request by Mr. Brott.
Entertain a motion?
I make the motion that we approve an out-of-state travel for Alva High School speech and debate that traveled to Springfield, Missouri, to participate in the Missouri State Debate Institute on July 1st to the 14th, 2023.
Second.
McDermott,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes. 6.11, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the Alva Public Schools Board of Education Title III Consortium Member District to enter into a cooperative agreement with the Board of Education of Blackwell Public Schools, a Title III Consortium lead physical agent, for the purpose of creating a Title III Part A consortium for the school year of 23-24.
We've been a member of this consortium agreement for the last 5 to 6 years. If you serve, and so Title III Part A is your EL learners. And so if you serve less than 120 to 130, that number is going to fluctuate depending on what the state enrollment of EL learners is. So if you serve less than 120 to 130, you have to be a part of a consortium and you cannot receive your state aid. And so we joined this consortium with Blackwell, Fairview, a couple of others. Blackwell receives the money in state aid. We request what we would like to purchase through them. They purchase it and send it to us. We've purchased Rosetta Stone in the past. We've purchased translators for students to be able to use. So this has been a necessary thing for the district, and it's been good for us to be a part of this consortium. Last year we had 23 students that we served that were EL students, which was down 25. We've seen a gradual decrease in our numbers, and that's part of the reason why you've seen that position not be a full-time position, because those numbers continue to decrease. If there are no questions, I would recommend that we enter into a cooperative agreement with Blackwell Schools.
So moved.
Second.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
6.12, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve an amendment to renew the Food Service Management Company contract renewal for 23-24 school year.
So we bring this renewal back to you again this month. Food Service Management Company and state aid have their wires crossed. We received the wrong lunch equivalent and lunch cost for what we would be paying for the next school year. And so our new cost will be $376. It was $366 when I gave you last month. So it's a 10-cent increase. And part of that cost is going to be each year you have about an 8.8% increase in your lunch equivalent. So your cost is about an 8.8% increase there, but you're also going to see an 8.8% increase in your reimbursements. So they use that on a scale to try to always keep that scale balanced for school districts. So again, what's really important for us is that we get as many free and reduced lunch applications as we can so that we meet that reimbursement on that scale. I anticipate that we will review our lunch prices and breakfast prices again. We mentioned, we talked last year, we have not had any kind of increase for probably 6 to 7 years, and we increased 30 cents. It is still a very good price. And so we'll review those numbers again, get with our food service company, and also get with a State Department to find out what's the best price point for us and where we're at. If there are no questions, I would recommend approval of our food service management contract.
Good motion.
I make a motion to approve the food service contract for 23-24 school year.
Second.
Singleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Item number 613, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the following contracts. Now we can approve those in all as one.
Correct.
So let's start with Precision Testing Labs.
Okay, precision testing, this is a routine yearly contract that we approve. This is for asbestos inspection and abatement if necessary. So we use them kind of on an if necessary type contract. They will also come up and do some training and also provide our yearly inspection.
Alva Golf and Country Club.
Okay, if you'll open that attachment, this attachment is what we worked on together as a committee that I mentioned earlier. You can see that I've highlighted the date for June 5th. You also see that we have the $10,000, which will be from the Quinn Trust for capital improvement. So we'll bring this contract back in the new fiscal year, and that is when we will do our course fee, like Northwestern and some of our other local schools pay for use of the Golf and Country Club.
Okay. 6.13.3, Corwin Mertz and Haney Architects and Interior Design.
Okay, this contract corresponds with the gift from the Buckles Foundation. Once agreeing to this contract, they will drop the architectural contract. I've also attached the images, proposed images for that entrance improvement at Washington.
And 6.13.4 is the Woods County Commissioners Agreement.
Yearly agreement that we sign with Woods County Commissioners. This just is an agreement that we will help with any litigations, any fees, any appraisal protests that might occur. If there are no questions, I would recommend approval of agenda items 16, 6, 13, 1 through 4.
Question.
Uh-huh.
All the changes to Washington, is that all just going to be mainly external?
It will all be exterior, all entrance improvements. Yes. questions.
I'd make a motion that we approve 6.13, 1 through 4.
Second.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Are there any items of new business?
No, ma'am.
Item number 8, proposed executive session to discuss AEA negotiations for 25 Oklahoma State statutes, section 307B2.
So moved.
Motion, second.
Second.
Pingleton,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.